first chapter of the book Flamingo, that is the last lesson. Now, before we start with our chapter, we need to know certain historical background which makes the setting of this chapter. Okay, so if you go through the text right at the beginning, you have a very short introduction of the historical setup of the chapter. Alphonse Daudet was a French novelist and a short story writer. The last lesson is set in the days of the Franco-Prussian War. Now, this is very important because this sets the story's main theme as well. Okay, what happened during this war? Because of this war, France was defeated by Prussia. And what was Prussia at that time? Was this country had the certain parts of Germany, Poland, and some parts of Austria. So now these parts, okay, these are the current times, but during the war, that is 1870s, these together made Prussia. Okay, and what is the consequence of this war? Pertaining to the lesson that we are about to read, there are two districts of France, that is Alsace and Lorraine. These two districts have been taken away by the Prussia. Okay, and hence what happened, we can say that it is a kind of German invasion of these two districts of France. Okay, now if you see, whenever there is an invasion, there are two major factors or major aspects which are dominated right at the first place. Okay, when the invasion takes place, first of all, religion is converted. This is very much relatable in our colonial history also, right? And the second factor is language. So, in order to dominate a country or in order to suppress a country, language plays a very important role. What the invaders do at the first go is they try to suppress the native indigenous identity of that place, which is their language, because we all know language is our identity. Language defines us, mother tongue defines us. So the invaders or the country who suppresses the other counterpart, they, that country, first and foremost their job is to control the language. All right, this is the background of the story. Now what happens in this lesson? Here we have a French teacher, okay, whose name is M. Hamel. Okay, and this French teacher is about to deliver his last lesson. Why is this a last lesson? How was the last lesson? Why is this last class so special for him and for the students and other parents? We will come to know eventually. So in this story, this lesson, this story teaches us the importance of mother tongue. This story teaches us the repercussions or the impacts or the negative effects of procrastination. Procrastination means to delay something. This is a very relatable habit of students, right? If you are told to do something right now or this evening, you will think that students often think that okay fine, I'll do it tomorrow, kal karenge, परसों करेंगे, we will do it tomorrow, we will do it later, and that later, quote unquote later, never comes. So we keep on delaying our work. So what happened here? Why is this such an important theme of this chapter? That is because the French people, when they had time, they did not they did not pay any attention to learning their native tongue. They can speak, but they cannot read and write. Okay, this is the background of the story. Let us move on with the chapter. Here the narrator is a small child whose name is Franz. Okay. Now you will find a very interesting association with the country as well. If you look at the pronunciations of these both, you will find France is somehow associated with the country's name as well, France. Hence, right from the beginning, we have been given the hint that our country, our nation is our identity. Okay, please keep this in mind. And this it hints at the national identity as well, and eventually it hints at our language, mother tongue, as our identity. Okay, now who is Franz? Let us quickly see who is Franz. Franz is a small child who does not like to go to school. Okay, he always plays, he tries to play truant. What is a truant? Truant means one who bunks school or bunks classes. Okay, classes or school. So he is a very small, he is a very innocent, very carefree boy who, instead of going to school, who loves nature very much. He is a nature lover. He loves to explore nature. All right. So he says that instead of going to school, he would he would very much love to run to go out and see the birds at the edge of the forests, to explore the open fields where the Prussian soldiers were drilling. He would love to go to the river Sar and swim there. He would love to see the birds' eggs. Okay, climb the trees. So you can say that he is a carefree, free spirited boy, and he loves to explore nature. But on the other hand, what is the reality that he has? What is the immediate reality? He is late for school. Okay, he is tempted to go to nature, he is tempted to bunk the school, but he resists his temptation. Okay, so we can say that he is a very practical child as well. Now, what is the why is he afraid of going to school? He is afraid. I started for school very late that morning and was in great dread. Dread means he was in great fear. Why was he in fear? Number one, he was late for school, and number two, he didn't do his homework. What was the homework? It was French participles. Okay, it was the homework was he had to memorize the rules of French participles. That is, it is a grammar homework, but he did not do it, and he knows Mr. Hamill is very strict teacher, and he would question on the participles, but he did not do his homework, and also he is late for school, and hence he is afraid that day. All right, he wants to go out in nature, he wants to explore nature, but at the end, see, this is very important for a small child. He it was very much tempting going out in the nature, but he could resist his temptation and he went to school. This is a very mature decision that Franz takes. We get another characteristic of this little boy Franz, that he is matured to resist his temptation. We adults often fail to resist our temptation. Like, suppose you have an exam tomorrow, and you are craving for an ice cream today, and you know for sure that if you have an ice cream today, you will definitely fall sick. Even after that, you even any person who loves ice cream might fall for that temptation and eat the ice cream. As a result, would fall sick, and it would perform poorly for the exam the next day. Okay, but this small child resisted his temptation of going out, and instead he went to school. All right. coming to the next part of the story. Now what happens, he starts his journey towards the school. There is the town hall. What is this town hall? Town hall is where all the bad news had come from this town hall. Okay, this town hall is, you can say, this is the a place where all the information are given. What kind of information? Very important. The narrative says that the child is very much aware of the negative news from the town hall. Okay, so while he was going to school, he saw that the town hall was crowded. Okay, and he was thinking, why is there a crowd now? What more bad news? What worse can happen now? What is the matter now? He kept thinking, because the town hall had been giving all the negative news for the last 2 years, lost battles, the draft, that is the office orders, the commanding officer's orders, the battles won or lost, the invasions, etc. Last 2 years means this is a reference to the Franco-Prussian War of 1870 to 1872. All right. So while he was going, there is a blacksmith who tells, this is a very important line of the chapter, who tells him sarcastically, "Don't go so fast, Bob. You'll get to your school in plenty of time." This is a very important phrase of the entire lesson. This is a sarcastic remark, okay? This is an ironical remark, and also humorous in its own sense, because Franz could not understand the sarcasm here. Why is this person, blacksmith, telling me not to hurry to school? I am already late, I am hurrying to school. Why is this person telling me that you have got plenty of time? Okay, now this gives us the first hint of the main theme of the chapter, that is procrastination. All right, that is delaying. Now what, plenty of time, this is a very familiar phrase that students often get to hear, maybe sarcastically. Maybe your teacher says that, okay, fine, you don't have to read the text now, you have got 100 years to read the text, you have got so much of time, you don't have to hurry. So what is it? It is a kind of sarcastic remark, that fine, we the teachers are telling you again and again, go through the text, read the text immediately, it is done in the class, but you people, the students, are lethargic, are laid back. Okay, I have got time, I'll read the text later, and all these things, right? So you have got plenty of time means this is a sarcasm. This gives us the first, drop. This is when the theme of procrastination is dropped subtly. All right. So he reaches the school. He is almost out of breath and he reaches the school. Now this is very important for you to understand. Okay, there is a difference between normal days and the other and that day. What was the environment of the school? What was the difference in the environment of the school that day? Okay, so normally, this is what France says. Normally, the school used to be is noisy. Okay, there are so many sounds coming. What are the sounds? There specifically we have got three sounds here. The closing and opening of desk. This is number one. Lessons repeated in unison, number two, that is the chorus, that is the students reading the lessons as a chorus, okay, very loud with our hands over our ears to understand better. And the last sound is teacher's great ruler rapping on the table, that is the scale, okay, for beating, which shows that the teacher is a very strict teacher. So what are the sounds? The closing and opening of the desks, the chorus, the chorus the choral recitation of of the lessons, and the teacher rapping his ruler on the table. Okay, now what did France think? Franz had thought that he would take advantage of these sounds. He would take advantage of these sounds and sneak into the classroom. Okay, that is, he would very silently, stealthily sneak into the classroom and nobody would notice. Especially Mr. Hamill would not notice him, because this is the commotion. What is the meaning of commotion? Noisy and chaotic atmosphere. Please note down the meanings as I write. Chaotic, okay, chaotic atmosphere, noisy and chaotic atmosphere. So France had counted on means depended. Okay, he had depended on this noisy and chaotic atmosphere to get to my desk without being seen. In one word, you can say, to get to my desk inconspicuously. Inconspicuous means something that does not draw attention. Okay, this is what he had expected. This is the expectation. All right. But what was the reality that day? What was the reality? Now, this is the reality. That day, the school was as silent as a Sunday morning. Okay, first. So, it is not noisy, it is not chaotic, it is as quiet as Sunday morning. Then he went inside. Okay, he was late and everyone has seen him entering the class. Second, Mr. Hamill, who usually used to be very rude and very unkind and very strict if any student is late to the class, but that day he was very polite. Okay, this is the key word. He was very kind, kind Hamill. This is the second difference that day. When he sat on his desk, he saw that Hamel, that is the French teacher, was wearing his special dress. Was in his special dress. And what is the special dress? When does a teacher wear his or her special dress? When there is an inspection or there is a Teachers' Day celebration or any kind of celebration, right? But that day, there it was none of them. So he was wondering, little Franz was wondering that why is Mr. Hamill wearing a special dress? What was the special dress? Very important for your board's point of view. His beautiful green coat, his frilled shirt, and his little black silk cap. Okay, this is the special dress which he usually wore on the inspection or the prize days. But that day, it does not have any such special occasion. Okay, so Mr. Hamill was in his special dress, and the last difference was the last benches of the class, which usually on the normal days are empty. The last benches are filled with whom? With the are occupied with the villagers. So the parents have also uh, the parents are also seated in the last benches. Very important. Okay, the atmosphere was strange, solemn, but what the thing that surprised me the most was to see on the back benches that the village people sitting quietly like ourselves. So all the village people, old village people, there was old Hosser, there was the old postmaster. Everybody looked sad, and everybody was sitting there and listening to Mr. Hamill. So these are the differences that day. Now, Mr. Hamill gives the announcement. What is the announcement? My children, this is the last lesson I shall give you. The order has come from Berlin to teach only German in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine. The new master comes tomorrow. This is your last French lesson. I want you to be very attentive. So, what is the order? That the Berlin Order. Okay, this is very important. Berlin Order, that is the order from Germany, has come that Alsace and Lorraine, schools of Alsace and Lorraine will no longer read French. Instead, they will read German from tomorrow. Hence, the French teacher has to leave immediately. Hence, this is the last lesson that Mr. Hamill is going to deliver that day. Alright, we are stopping here as the first part. We shall continue with the next part, that is the second part of the chapter, in the next video. Thank you, students.